While this next group may think of themselves as rusty relics, but we know they're contributing to the community's future as well as honouring its industrial past. Representing Westland District, please give a warm welcome to the Westland Industrial Heritage Park.
Kia ora. Henare. Respect. What a delight to travel from the coast, a place of untamed natural wilderness, and then come through the pass and arrive in Queenstown Lakes. And it's beautiful. It's quite stunning. I'd forgotten. My name's Bruce Smith and I'm the Westland Mayor, and I joined the teams here from Buller and Grey and Westland in support. On stage are Mort and Jim. They're a couple of old crusties who set out to preserve our coast heritage in 1981. We're all here to celebrate success, but to build a community, we must know where we came from. Our Westland Industrial Heritage Park has a special place in the heart of all coasters. They are showing us where we have been and guiding us on where we have to go. I'll hand you over.
Hi, kia ora. The Heritage Park is just a bit more than a museum. We've actually become a training centre as well, and Mort will cover that. But our ethos is that we're more than just an integral part of the community. We go out there and we just don't sit on our bum and wait for people to come to us. We go out there and make sure we're available to help other groups. It's a hands-on museum. There's no white gloves anywhere, and so people are invited to come along and even start engines if they don't mind a bit of grease and oil. Kids can climb on tractors and fire engines. So that's the way it works. I'm talking about fire engines. We have 9 now, but we had 8. And the Hokitika Fire Brigade is the oldest fire brigade in the country, and we spent about 4,800 hours doing up all the fire engines so they actually drove off. We spent another few hundred hours making sure they stopped. Typical fire engines not used much. The oldest one is 1933 Ford V8, which hasn't done 5,000 miles yet, up to a rather large 1980s Mitsubishi, which just arrived last week. Major project for me, particularly, we have project managers looking after each project. They're building a miniature railway. It's going to be 700 metres running length. It goes down the east-west runway of the Hokitika Airport and comes back through a manuka forest. And so this manuka forest is a bit special in that it's got mudfish in it. So we've gone into partnership with the Department of Conservation and got a community grant, and so we're building weirs, and there'll be interpretation panels at the railway station, and the people who are driving the trains will be talking about mudfish and the forest. And we've got a stoat and rat trap thing going on, 14 traps. We've already caught three rats and a couple of stoats, so we're going pretty well. And it involves weed control, interpretation, and it kind of link into how the old bush trams worked on the west coast, big timber industry type thing. We've also got an 1878 Shanks locomotive chassis, and Mort's team, Mort's our go-to engineer, and he's churning out rails like nobody's business. And so we've got a bit to do, but we're going to get it there. Other work we've done for the Department of Conservation, just thinking about that, we've rebuilt 2 log bogies, so they go out on the Mahanapoor Walkway, very popular mountain bike track. And to the mountain bikers here, you've got to come to the west coast because you'll never go anywhere else again. It's a great place for mountain biking. And the other thing we've done is to restore a Fords and Major rail tractor that started life at Charming Creek, built by the Union Foundry in Stratford. and worked at Charming Creek, and then went down to Okarito pulling silver pine posts out and that sort of stuff. So you'll see photos of that coming up, and it's for the Black Brothers. And but we don't just sit in Hokitika either. For the Department of Conservation, we also had volunteers that go up to the Reefton, 15 kilometres into the mountains. There's the Lord Brassey Stamper Battery, and some of our members went there and helped part of that rebuild, and that was really great. We've run fabricating stoke traps, provided the facilities for the locals in Hokitika to come along and put stoke traps together. In fact, Morton and I have even been offshore actually. We went up to Driving Creek Railway and spent a week up there helping work on a locomotive there, which was going to take 3.5 weeks, I think, by their engineer to fix, and we fixed it in 5 hours. So that's the sort of thing we've got. Our infrastructure is rather large. We took over an old one of the old compounds from the old county council. So now we're up to I think it's 9 sheds now, and the next shed we want to go for is $250,000 worth. So trying to find the funds for that is difficult, as you can imagine. But we've just spent all our money on the fire engine shed to house our fire engines, apart from the Mitzi, of course, which is about 5 metres longer than anything else. And but we've just spent we're going to spend $50,000 on that. So the money is hard to come by, and it's taken a long time to get that money together. But we're always looking for more money. Hey, Mr. Mayor. So unfortunately, a few years ago, we had a workshop burned down, and negotiating with the assessors, we actually ended up with a new workshop because of the insurance for the council, but we ended up with brand new engineering equipment, and so we can fix anything basically. And magicians like Mort, they do all the metal work. It's really great. We've got a steamer shed, which is just currently full of fire engines at the moment, but in there, I'll hand you over to Mort.
Okay, with what time I've got left, I'll tell you who we are.
Squeeze it.
We are known as the Rusty Relics. We are not just a lot of volunteers. We give 10,000 hours a year to the community. We work for the likes of the Ross community, the Harry community. You've seen some of the photos of the work we do on the cemeteries, and designing and building the memorial for the Harry RSA. That was a really moving experience, being able to do that. Being able to restore the surrounds on the graveyard of the man who built the wrought iron back in the 1800s, that was a real honour to be able to do that. We also take in students and we give them out-of-school experience so that they can get their unit credits in a practical manner, because the school can't give that to them. So that is us, that is the Westland Industrial Heritage Park.